So we've ripped the kitchen out, completely gone. Last week, outside was completely covered in rubbish. Oh my f***ing Lord. Have a look out there. We had to take all of the old rubbish away by hand. Hi, it's Kevin again, and this is part 3 of the Refurb project series. I've done 2 other videos about this project. If you haven't seen them already, make sure you watch them so you get the full picture of the project. So this is a 4-bed property that we've secured in a really poor condition, and we're refurbishing it to bring it up to a much better standard to let out to a family that can treat it as their home. So let's head over to the project now. Let's see what it looks like. It's completely finished, and we even have a tenant secured, ready to take it on as a single let family home. Remember, before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. So we've finished the refurb. Let's have a look inside and show you what we've done. So we've put a brand new front door on it. It looks much neater now, really nice from the outside. So instantly you can see that it looks completely different on the inside. So we've put new radiators throughout, all new plumbing through the whole property. So new pipework, new radiators, new boiler, recarpeted, painted it. All the electrics have been done. If you remember this room before the refurb, it looked dated, it looked a little bit horrible. Now it's clean, tidy, neat, and it's really ready for somebody to just move in and put their own touches to the property. One of the things I wanted to focus on as well is that when you're doing a refurbishment, this is not your home. You don't need to do it up to the standards that you want to live in. It is a clean, tidy property that will rent out easily to the type of tenant that you're looking for in this area. It's also really important to understand your area and understand the type of refurbishment that you need for the tenant type in your area. This is an investment decision at the end of the day. The property needs to be clean, it needs to be tidy, it needs to make sure that there's no damp so that your tenants have got a nice home to live in. But you do not have to do a house up for a Knightsbridge, Manhattan type standard if you are in an area that's on the edge of the Bronx. So this area is lower demographic. The tenant type that we're going to get here is going to be blue collar worker, local factories, minimum wage. And the sort of rental we'll be looking to achieve on this property is £575 a month, which is going to give us a really good return. I mean, looking at the numbers, we paid £66,367 for this property. With the purchase cost and the refurb, our entire spend was £81,246. £575 times 12 months is £6,900 in rental income. Divided by £81,246, multiplied by 100, gives you an 8.49% yield. 8.49% yield in the Midlands is a really great return on your money. So if you remember what the kitchen looked like, I mean, it was horrible, it was dark, there was dirt everywhere, there was even rat droppings in the kitchen and through to the bathroom. So we ripped it all out, we replastered it, we've put in a new kitchen. So this is a magnet kitchen through LNPG. Massive, massive discount when you use an LNPG discount card. We've got a new cooker, fan, right through to the back, boiler built in and hidden here, a new back door and a new window here. But here's the important bit. We didn't go over budget. We didn't spend a crazy amount of money on things that were not necessary. We focused on spending the money where it was going to give the biggest return to the rental market. You don't go cheap, but also you don't spend too much. You spend the right amount of money on the important items in the right way to get you the best return on your investment. Because remember, at the end of the day, even though this is going to be somebody's home, it's also an investment for you to get a return on. So you have to make sure you spend your budget, you stick to your budget, and you don't go over the top with unnecessary items. Spend your money that gives you the biggest bang for your buck on the items that the family is going to appreciate the most. The cookers, the kitchen, cleanliness, the damp proofing, making sure that the property is somewhere that a family can move into with a few family photographs, with some of their own little touches. It's going to make a really beautiful family home. So through to the bathroom, if you remember, this bathroom was horrible when we looked at it originally. So we've put in a new sink and unit. We've got a new side for the bath. The toilet is new. So if you remember the backyard, this was a complete mess. All we've done is tidied it up, cleaned it up, and it's a nice open clean space. Now the thing I like about this property as a rental is its maintenance. There's no big gardens that you've got to have to be cutting all the time. It's low maintenance property near the town centre that will rent out immediately from waiting tenants who want a nice property close to town centre, close to their work, where they've got very little maintenance to do, but also have a private enclosed yard. So let me show you the other bedrooms upstairs. So this is the smallest of the bedrooms, but it's actually quite a big size. It's not your typical box room on a property. You'll actually fit a double bed in here. If you remember this room, it was a complete mess. There was a dirty cupboard over here in the corner. That used to be where the old tank was. We've ripped all of that out. New radiators, repainted, plastered some of the walls. So this is bedroom 2. Again, same approach as the last room where we cleaned it up, tidied it up. If you remember, it used to have horrible wallpaper, horrible colors on the walls. We've just freshened it up, painted it, decorated it, and also there was trunking. So some of the electrics was actually on the outside of the walls. So we've had that dug out and back into the walls, replastered and painted to make it look like more like a home than an office. So making sure that your electrics meet the safety standards is critical in a property. Remember, your tenants living here as their family home. So you need to make sure that you keep them safe. You've got a legal obligation, personal obligation to make sure your tenants are safe. Electrics is somewhere you do not want to skimp on. Make sure that you put the investment into the electrics. Make sure that you get them safe. Make sure they meet the legal requirements. In this property, we redone the electrics throughout and a new consumer unit to make sure that that was the safest possible property for the tenant. So this is the main master bedroom, and this is a huge space. I mean, if you look at the size of this room, in this property, for a property at the price we paid for it, to have this is only bedroom 3 of 4. We've got a whole other floor to show you. There was holes in the floor, there was timbers we had removed everywhere. So we put in new timbers on the flooring and we replaced the timbers that needed to be replacing to keep the cost down again. Could replace the entire floor. It's hidden under a brand new carpet. Why would you replace the entire floor that's going to be hidden when you can replace certain timbers instead? So let's head up to the 3rd floor and show you what we've done there. So this is the 4th bedroom, top floor. Now if you remember, this room, there was leaks, there was damp coming through, there was a lot of wet walls up here. The reason for that was the roof. Now, you could think, oh, I need to replace the entire roof, but the reality is there was some tiles that had slightly moved that just needed to be fixed. So we spent only a few £100s getting the roof fixed with all of the patching that needed to be done. No need for a brand new roof. The timber work on the roof is perfectly fine. The felt is perfectly fine. Most of the tiling was perfectly fine. We just got a roofer up there, investigated the roof, identified the issues that we needed to be resolved, and then we came inside. So the roof was the first thing we did. Don't start your property and start refurbishing it while you still have a leaking roof. Sounds obvious, but you would be surprised what some people will do. So start at the top and then work your way down. So I'm back in my office, the project is finished. I want to run through 6 critical points that you need to understand when running a project. Now remember, this is part 3 of a 3-part series. If you haven't watched parts 1 and part 2, make sure you go back and watch them as well. So let's look at the numbers first. We purchased this property for £66,367. Now, once we've purchased it, there's stamp duty, there's legal costs to secure the deal. The stamp duty and legal costs came in at £2,730. Then there's the refurbishment. The refurbishment was £12,509, giving us a total project cost of £81,606. Now the project has just been revalued and refinanced with fleet mortgages, and they valued the property at £95,000, giving us almost 14,000 of equity. So number 1 is refurbs often cost more than what you think it will at the start. So make sure you've got a contingency. Why is that? Well, you've seen during the videos that as we started to rip the walls back, take off the wallpaper, look behind the kitchens and stuff, you will identify hidden defects. They need to be sorted. Number 2 is never tell the builder what you plan to spend on the project. Here's why. You tell them what you plan to spend, they will spend it. You noticed in one of the videos, I asked the builder, what do you think it will cost? They said 7 to 10 grand. Now, I said, great, let's see if you can do that. In my head, that was never my budget. My budget was between 10 and 15 grand. Number 3, you'll hear from a lot of the experts that you have to buy, refurbish, refinance and get all of your money back out. You don't need to get all of your money back out. Sometimes you can, and that's great. But to be honest, it's about the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time you're going to be leaving some money in. So make sure you know how much you want to leave in on the project. Work out your return on capital employed. How much cash flow are you going to get every month from that property, and how long will it take with that cash flow to return you the money that you've left in. On this project, 95 grand valuation and an £81,606 total cost. That is an 8.45% yield based on our rental income. The return on capital employed is over 40%. I'll run through those numbers with you in a moment. Number 4, this deal is a joint venture partner deal. So a JV partner has put the money into the project. My role in the project is to find the property, manage the refurb, and then manage the property long term. Make sure that your JV partner is very clear about the outcome. I don't want to be promising a JV partner that the refurb would only cost 7 grand and they're going to get all of their money out on a project. That is setting yourself up to fail. Never over promise and under deliver. Always under promise and over deliver. The JV partners that I work with, they are looking for a 20% return on capital employed. That's my minimum level. If I can achieve more than that, we win. Now here's the structure. They put their money in. If there's any money left in at the end of the project, they get all of the rental income until they get all their money back out. Once they've got all their funds back out, I get 50% of the cash flow and 50% of the equity. Now, there's money left in this deal. It's going to take just over 2 years for them to get all of their money back out of that project. But in 2 years' time, I'm going to get half the cash flow and half the equity. The house will have gone up in value. There's going to be maybe more rental income as rents go up. This is a long-term legacy strategy. It's not a get-rich-quick. So let's look at the detailed numbers that I look at with a joint venture partner before we go into a project. So I've got them written down here. So we mentioned return on capital employed. So on this deal, it revalued at 95,000. Now this total spend was 81,606. But on a revalue of 95,000, if you take a 75% loan to value mortgage, that means the bank lent us £71,250. Now we got a mortgage on this property from Fleet. Fleet lent us the money at 3.74%, which is £226.50 per month interest on that debt. So on the 71,250 borrowed at 3.74%, that equates to £226.50. Now this property, we said in part 1 of the 3-part series that we were aiming to achieve $575 a month rental income.
You're looking around $575 a month.
The other agent said $550 to $600, around $575. I'd be really happy with that. We've got a tenant moved in now at $595, so we achieved £20 more than we expected. Based on the $595 rental income and the mortgage, take away that mortgage of $226.50 plus take away your buildings insurance, which on this property for us is £22 a month. That equals £346.50 monthly profit. Times 12 months gives you £4,158 a year profit. Now to work out your return on capital employed, you take your yearly cash flow, the £4,158, and divide it by the money left in. The money left in is our total spend, 81,606, minus what we took out on the mortgage, 71,250. So the money left in is £10,356. So 4,158 divided by 10,356, multiplied by 100 to give it a percentage, is 40.15% return on capital employed. Double what the JV partner was looking to achieve, and all money back out of the deal in just over 2 years. I then got half of that cash flow and half of that equity. I've done over 30 of these JV deals. What that means is within 2 years, at that level, I will have 15 properties that would be 100% mine. 15 properties that I would otherwise not have done because I wouldn't have had the funds to do them. You can scale a portfolio using other people's money. Number 5, also think about the length of the refurb. If you think the refurb is going to take 1 month, tell the JV partner it's going to take 3. If you think it's going to take 9 months, tell them 12. Under promise and over deliver. Get it finished on time. Get them their money back quicker than they expected. Number 6, look at the refurb we did on this property. It's not a hotel standard. It is not a buy to sell. If you're doing a buy to sell refurb, you're going to do it at a much higher standard than a buy to let refurb. Also the area you're in. You want to provide better than what the competition are providing in your area. If you are in a lower demographic area, like say a 2-star area, and you're providing a 5-star offering, that property will be brought back down to maybe 3.5 star by your tenant. That is not a financially wise decision. So make sure if you're in like a 3-star area, provide 3.5 star offering. This has got to be a business decision, not an emotional decision. You are in this property game to make money, so make sure you look after those pounds. So this is the final part of the 3-part mini-series. If you haven't watched the other 2, make sure you go back and watch them now. I hope this has helped you to understand the process on a property refurbishment, thinking about your numbers, thinking about your joint venture partner, because it's very easy to spend somebody else's money. You need to make sure that you're treating their money as more important than your own. If you look after a JV partner and their funds, they will reinvest with you over and over and over again, allowing both of you to scale your business. Also, hopefully this has inspired you to get started on your property journey. If so, make sure you watch other videos, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I've been Kevin McDonnell. You guys are awesome. See you on the next video.